He, as Gary already mentioned, he was comfortable in going away. He knew where he was going. And he didn't, Dad didn't do it right the first time. He first went through the exercise of being baptized and mainly doing it for my mom and the family. And then when he was 63, he got in a bad car wreck that messed him up. And it was about a year after that car wreck, he then realized, because at that time he didn't even know that he hadn't been saved, and he then realized that he had not done that right. He had not accepted Jesus Christ as a Savior. And so at 64 years old, after the wreck, that basically it killed him. It changed him, it killed him. He died 2-3 times, on the operating table. He had a disease in his lungs. He had cracked brainstem. He really got messed up. And he was smart enough to realize he had a second chance. He had a second chance to accept Jesus Christ as a Savior. He had a second chance to know that when he went away, where he was going. He was going to go be with the Lord. And I don't know about you guys, but there's not a lot of second chances. And he had that. And he treated his 26 years of handicap, he treated it as a different person. I had 2 dads. I had the dad pre-wreck and I had the dad, post-wreck. And he was a different guy. And I loved both of them, but the one that accepted Jesus Christ and the one that had limitations, in my opinion, was, that was Dad. That was the guy. He wasn't as tough. At least he didn't appear to be as tough. He felt that he was every bit as tough as he had ever been. And there wasn't anybody that he wouldn't challenge, even in this, the way he was, the way he was handicapped. The second chance, I guess, is the one thing that I just focus on. And it's one thing that's so important that we all know that, when you accept Jesus Christ, Dad set an example. He knew he did it wrong. He fixed it. He did it right. And he was fortunate that he had that second chance. Not everybody's given that second chance. I don't know why Dad got that second chance, but I look at the way he died. He went on Easter Sunday, Resurrection Sunday. I mean, who does that? It's like God and him were in cahoots on that deal. They had an agreement, and that's the way he played it. And amazing man. That goes without being said. Anybody here that knew him, they know that that's the kind of guy that he was. I'm going to just read off a few of his accomplishments, and I'll make it really quick, and then I'll get out of here so you guys don't have to listen to me stutter around. But here's some of my dad's achievements. He played football in the service. He boxed. He did judo in Japan. Semi-pro football. He broke his arm in semi-pro football. We always kidded him about his arm. It just kind of did that. He never had a straight arm. And his kids, John and I, gave him a hard time about it all the time. And we got in trouble for it quite often. He was a regiment champion in boxing. He was a black belt in judo, which he got that in Japan. He is a 7th degree black belt. And there's some karate people in here, and you guys know that 7 degrees Kevin, it's a big number. Dad did everything with big numbers. You know, he played and coached men's softball. He coached women's softball. And, you know, somebody here, I'm not going to name the person, took a shot in the neck playing for Dad as the coach. And she left the field. It's that girl right there, by the way. And she left the field, and she felt like when she left the field, my dad was going to chew her out. And he didn't do that, did he? You know, he was major support, and it's like, wow, you know, this guy has a heart. You know, he's the real deal. He coached baseball, and he coached really good football. Our coach was a president, was an equipment person, you know, responsible for all the equipment. He did that for 42 years. 42 years. I mean, you have to love what you're doing. And me and Gary already said, the big thing there was he had a love for every one of those kids. Every individual kid he loved, and he treated them all with respect, and he was their mentor. And I was one of them. And I was fortunate enough to be coached by my dad in just about everything. He refereed football and basketball. He collected rocks. Trust me, we collected a lot of rocks, and it wasn't easy. We went to some of the craziest places, and he always drugged me out of bed. And Richard, you know, let's go. And you know what? If it wasn't so early, I'd have been okay with it. But when I got there, loved it. Loved sharing that time with Dad. He birds, deer, elk. He fished. And all this was in 88 years. And to me, this is like 3 lifetimes. He packed so much in. He was always going. And Mom was thankful for that because it kept him out of her hair. You know, and that's the, you know, I'm going to close with this. My mom and Dad were married 68 years. Mom was the balance that Dad needed in his life. They needed each other, and they were always there for each other. They were there for us kids. You know, and they lost my brother when he was 19 years old. And Dad was there and held the family together. You know, Mom, she could have thrown in the towel. Carrie and I, we kind of didn't do so well. And Dad was there, giving us all the support that we needed as a family. If it hadn't been for that, we wouldn't have survived as a family. And I just thank God that Dad was there. You know, what a guy, what a strong man. And he went through he had problems in his life. He had things happen, and he kept his chin up and played through them. The biggest thing I've said about Dad is his connection with Jesus Christ, his acceptance of Jesus Christ as a Savior. And this isn't a sermon, but if he hadn't done that, you might think really hard about it, because Dad had a second chance. And everybody did. It means everything. And he knew it, and he did it right. And I'm missing already. I'm done.